China tightening its grip, your news update, and Royce and I talk energy on this edition of State of the Bands Weekend, starting right now. Hello and welcome to Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend for August 21st, 2021. I'm Joshua Stark. China is tightening control over information gathered by companies about the public under a law approved Friday by its ceremonial legislature, expanding the ruling Communist Party crackdown on internet industries. The law would impose some of the world's strictest controls on private sector surveillance or access to those corporate data. Its passage follows anti-monopoly and other enforcement actions against companies including e-commerce giant Alibaba, games and social media operator Tencent that caused their share prices to plunge. The law, which takes effect November 1st, follows complaints that companies misused or sold customers' data without their knowledge or permission, leading to fraud or unfair practices such as charging higher prices to some users. The number of people seeking unemployment benefits fell last week for a fourth straight time to pandemic low, the latest sign that America's job market is rebounding from the pandemic recession as employers boost hiring to meet a surge in consumer demand. The Labor Department reported Thursday that jobless claims fell by 29,000 to 348,000. The 4-week average of claims, which smooths out week-to-week volatility, also fell by 19,000 to just 378,000, also a pandemic low. The weekly pace of applications for unemployment aid has fallen more or less steadily since topping 900,000 in early January. The dwindling number of first-time jobless claims has coincided with the widespread administration of vaccines. When Ryan David bought 3 rental properties back in 2017, he expected the $1,000 a month he was pocketing after expenses would be regular sources of income well into his retirement years. He was also counting on the rent money from properties in DuPont, Pennsylvania to help with his cash flow of his business, buying and selling distressed properties, launched early last year. But then the pandemic hit, and federal and state authorities imposed moratoriums on evictions. The unpaid rent began to mount. Then, just as he thought the worst was over, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced a new moratorium lasting until October 3rd. A federal judge dismissed a legal challenge on the order last week. David, the father of a 2.5-year-old, is expecting another child and fears the $2,000 he's owed in back rent will quickly climb to thousands more. OnlyFans, a site where fans pay creators for their photos and videos, is planning to ban sexually explicit content. The ban will start October 1st and is the result of requests from banking partners and companies that handle financial transactions, a spokesperson said. Still, nudity is okay if it's consistent with the company's policy. It's not clear what that policy is, and the company did not reply to questions. OnlyFans will be sharing more information in coming days. OnlyFans has become famous as a space for celebrities to interact with people on a more personal level, as well as a place where sex workers can post and get paid in a relatively safe manner. It's not available as an app via the Apple and Google stores, which ban pornography. OnlyFans has tried to distance itself from its association with porn, recently announcing an OFTV streaming app, which is available for download from the major tech platforms.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This week's State of the Band's blog includes Where's the Bacon? No more commuter naps for you Tesla owners. And how much does that EV really cost? All this and more in this week's State of the Band's blog, available now at arbitragetrade.com. Now, let's go to the president and CEO of Arbitrage Trade Analytics, Royce Wells, for more. Royce, I love my bacon, man.
Bacon is pretty awesome.
Bacon is king.
Would you believe we've had a gas shortage, we've had a beef shortage, we've had...
Don't you say it, Royce.
A chicken shortage.
No.
And guess what?
No.
Yes, I believe a bacon shortage is coming to us soon.
I need to go to Kroger.
Yeah, but hopefully...
Not a sponsor.
Yeah. Hey, we'll sponsor them if they'll sponsor us. But seriously, in California, in the midst of all these wildfires, lawmakers have passed new regulations that is basically making it more difficult for farmers to produce and distribute their bacon and pork products.
They need to stop that.
Yeah, only about 4% of the of the farms are actually within their rights. So that means we're about to have a very, very huge shortage of bacon. But to give you some perspective, right? California alone uses about 255 million, you heard me right, million pounds of bacon per month. But they only produce about 45 million pounds. So that means there's about a 210 million pound shortage. That means they're having to import it from other states like Iowa, who also aren't following the proper regulations.
Good for Iowa. Bacon now.
Yes, bacon for everyone. Well, these new regulations, if they go in place, and it raises the cost to care for the pigs and the amount of space that they have, it makes it more humane for them and all that good stuff before they're turned into our meat and sausages, right?
Right.
So with this change, it should basically take what usually be a $6 package of bacon almost to $10 for the same exact pack of bacon.
You take that back, Royce Wells.
So you might be able to get maybe 2 gallons of gas or 1 pack of bacon.
Bacon.
Yeah, I'm right with you. More bacon for everyone. But California is also doing other stuff to, because they can't just have their forest fires and they can't take away our bacon, right? They have to get us all hot and bothered about electricity. It's true. They're passing new energy laws to fight gluttons of electricity. So that means if you possibly have indoor botany projects or crypto mining rigs, guess what? Or even gaming computers, Alienware. Have you heard of Alienware computers, right?
Of course I have.
Yeah, they're saying no, turn those off. You can't have those. And they're actually trying to pass laws to prevent them from being shipped and prevent you from having them. So things are getting kind of crazy in California. It's sort of like the Wild Wild West, only thing way west.
Royce, I need my gaming computer, my bacon, my weed, and I need a break.
And you can have a break.
More State of the Band's weekend right after this.
Bacon.
Bacon, bacon.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Federal regulators have sharpened their antitrust attack against Facebook, alleging in a revised complaint that the social network giant pursued a laser-focused strategy to buy or bury rivals to suppress competition. It is the Federal Trade Commission's second antitrust run at the company. A federal judge in June dismissed antitrust lawsuits brought against Facebook by the agency and a broader coalition of states' attorneys general that were among multiplying efforts by federal and state regulators to rein in tech titans' market power. The FTC is again seeking remedies that would include a forced spinoff of Facebook's popular Instagram and WhatsApp messaging services, or a restructuring of the company. The agency's lawsuit last December alleged Facebook engaged in systematic strategy to eliminate its competition, including by purchasing smaller up-and-coming rivals like Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014. Facebook said the FTC was attempting to revive a meritless lawsuit and said it will vigorously defend itself against what it said is an effort to rewrite antitrust laws. There was no valid claim that Facebook was a monopolist, and that has not changed, the company based in Menlo, California said in the prepared statement. Our acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp were reviewed and cleared many years ago, and our platform policies were lawful. The company has until October the 4th to formally respond. The new FTC complaint lays out a detailed history of Facebook's conduct, particularly since the arrival of mobile devices like smartphones in the late 2010s and the rise of innovative rivals. Paul Swanson, an antitrust litigator at firm Holland and Hart in Denver, said the new complaint addresses the court's concerns head on. Facebook will need new arguments to beat back the FTC's case, Swanson said. Separately, the agency dismissed a request from Facebook that FTC Chair Lina Khan, an outspoken critic of big tech appointed in June by President Biden, step aside in this case because of her past public statements. Facebook said Khan's criticism of the market power when she was an academic and the legal director of an anti-monopoly think tank, and her more recent work on a congressional investigation make it impossible for her to be impartial. The FTC's General Counsel Office reviewed the petition and dismissed the request on grounds that the company's due process rights will be fully protected in the federal court proceeding. Without Khan's vote, the FTC's case against Facebook could have stalled by splitting the vote between the four other commissioners, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans. The vote to file the amended complaint was 3-2, with the 2 Republicans voting against it. Consumer advocates applauded the FTC's decision to refile the antitrust complaint against the social media company, with nearly 3 billion global users that they have long accused of wielding monopoly power and undertaking anti-competitive acquisitions. Facebook market value currently tops $1 trillion, and its revenue last year reached about $85 billion. Facebook is one of the worst offenders, and it's long past time for this company to be broken up, Alex Harmon, competition policy advocate for Public Citizen, said in a statement. More after this on Arbitrage Trade's State of the Bands weekend, including more with Royce and your winners and losers.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving. because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Royce, I'm car shopping. I was considering a Tesla.
That's sexy.
Well, I see what you did there, because they're S and then the E and then the X and then the Y. Yeah.
Yep. But the E's a 3, so at least it's, semi, hidden.
It's elite speak. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Elite speak for all the elite people out there.
Oh, that even makes it worse. Okay, Teslas though, they're kind of expensive. They're kind of,
Kind of nice.
They got a lot of technology to them. I kind of like, want to take my morning commutes and play games and maybe take a nap. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you know that they also allow you to do like cryptocurrency mining in them?
No.
Yes, sir.
Seriously.
Yep. Seriously. But let's get back to what we're here to talk about. I won't go down that path.
Yeah, we may have to do that on another show. That's another show.
Sorry. Apparently, there's about to be an investigation that involves about 765,000 Teslas.
Which, by the way, is every Tesla produced since 1914. 2014.
That's
so,
impressive.
Yeah, right. It's every Tesla produced since 2014.
Well, apparently the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, those guys, are investigating 11 crashes that have happened that involve Teslas since about 2018. And they are being investigated because apparently like strobing lights or anything flashing makes the cars careen towards the source. So that's really bad for like safety vehicles or ambulance. So at the site of an accident, if a Tesla drives by, there's a good chance that it could just go and crash right into the accident site and make things a whole lot worse.
Yeah, so a little background on that. Cameras and radar are really utilized in the autopilot system. And apparently Carnegie Mellon found that Teslas have an inherent attraction to strobing lights, and therefore if you pass an emergency vehicle that has a strobing light going, you're not passing that emergency vehicle.
You're going directly into it. But surprisingly enough, there's only been about 31 crashes since I guess 2016 that have been reported to be involved with Tesla, but 31 that's a small number compared to how many crashes there are every day in just regular vehicles where people are driving. So, mind you, I get it. You don't want Tesla, crashing onto the scene, but it could be worse. It could be worse. But while they're looking at this and they're trying to figure out if they're going to actually attack Tesla and other manufacturers for this, and basically try to warn drivers that your hands always have to be on the wheel. You can't leave it. You can't go to sleep. You can't have it drive you home. If you've been, going to the bar or wherever you've been going, you can't have it drop off your kids. You have to actually be alert and be there. As they say, I think at FedEx, be here now. So basically you can't not be in the moment. This is a very big vehicle, and it does and can hurt and kill people. So be alert.
The quest for a new car continues. More after this on Arbitrage Trade's State of the Bands Weekend. Stick around.
Help.
Ayuda.
帮助.
Edem.
Help.
In the wake of a disaster, there are many people from all backgrounds and all walks of life who need help. Help is available through FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. We're here to provide help to all those who need it.
Help.
帮助. Edem.
帮助. Help.
If you or someone you know has been affected by a disaster, call us at 800-621-FEMA. If your home or property has been damaged or destroyed, you've lost your job or income, or face other emergency needs, please call the Federal Emergency Management Agency at 800-621-FEMA. FEMA. Help is here.
A public service message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome, traders, to Winners and Losers Auto Edition. Formerly known as Dover Downs Entertainment, our first winner with an 8% gain markets and promotes motorsports entertainment in the United States. It owns and operates Dover International Speedway in Dover, Delaware, and Nashville Super Speedway near Nashville, Tennessee. Dover Motorsports, symbol DVD, starts at $234 a share. Next, this winner up 6%, provides mission-critical communications and analytics in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and internationally. The company operates in two segments: products and systems integration, and services and software. Motorola Solutions, symbol MSI, starts at $240 a share. Last, this winner up 2%, manufactures and distributes replacement parts for motor vehicles in the automotive aftermarket industry. The engine management segment offers components for the ignition, electrical, emissions, fuel, and safety-related systems of motor vehicles under the standard S&P Blue Streak, Intermotor, Standard Diesel, BWD Select, BWD, OEM, Tech Smart, Tech Expert, GP Sorensen, Lock Smart, and Pollock brand names, as well as under private labels comprising Napa, Eklund, and Napa Belden. Standard Motor Products, symbol SMP, starts at $43.18 a share. Losers this week with the 10% loss. This company designs, engineers, manufactures, and markets Ride Dynamics products worldwide. The company offers mid-end and high-end front fork and rear suspension products for mountain bikes, road bikes, and e-bikes, and powered vehicle products for side-by-side vehicles, on-road vehicles with and without off-road capabilities, off-road vehicles and trucks, all-terrain vehicles, snowmobiles, and specialty vehicles and applications. Fox Factory, symbol FOXF, starts at $163.14. Next, this loser down 3%, manufactures and sells custom, cruiser, and touring motorcycles. The company operates in two segments: motorcycles and related products and financial services. Harley-Davidson, symbol HOG, starts at $40.04. Last, at 2% down, this company distributes replacement parts, components, and systems used in the repair and maintenance of vehicles. It operates through three segments: North America, Europe, and specialty. The company distributes bumper covers, automotive body panels, and lights, as well as automotive glass products such as windshields, salvage products including mechanical and collision parts comprising engines, transmissions, door assemblies, sheet metal products such as trunk lids, fenders and hoods, lights and bumper assemblies, scrap metal and other materials, to metals recyclers and brake pads, discs and sensors, clutches, steering and suspension products, filters and oil and automotive fluids, as well as electrical products including spark plugs and batteries. LKQ Corporation, symbol LKQ, starts at $51.83 a share. Winners and Losers is provided for informational purposes only and does not constitute advice in trading. Percentages and stock prices were current at time of recording. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the content of this podcast, but you should seek out the assistance of a licensed professional for investment advice.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself. I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. Coming back. Ask your doctor check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Royce, we talked about Teslas earlier. I'm really considering one, to be honest, but I'm not sure how the savings really equate. Can you help me with that?
If you want to actually think about it, electric cars are measured in kilowatt hours per 100 miles, while gasoline measures 15, 30, 50 miles per gallon. Right? So basically you have to first weigh those two against each other and try to figure out what's going to be your average price per mile based on how much it costs to charge and how much time because time is money too, right? So you have to basically measure it, and depending on where you live, it could be really inexpensive or it can be devastating. Like, for example, in the average residential area in Idaho, it's about 9.5 cents or close to 10 cents per kilowatt hour, right?
Right.
However, in Hawaii, it's almost 32, 33 cents. So quite a difference in how much you get or how long it takes or how much it costs to actually charge a car that's on an island. Who knew? But in all seriousness, your state's average is just whatever it is. So basically you have to look at your utility, how much it's going to cost, and figure out what plan you want to use. A lot of people like to use EPA estimates of basically what, like, say, for example, you have a Tesla 3 Standard Range Plus, right? It gets about an EPA estimated 24 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. And your utility prices start at about 18 cents per kilowatt hour and rise to a maximum of 37 cents, right? So if you did that, let's compare that to like another car. Let's say you got a what's the new one? The Audi e-tron, the 2021, right? It gets about 43 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. So that's almost double what you're getting in a Tesla. But now you're paying between $15.48 to about $32 after driving 200 miles.
That's a nice car, though.
It is, and there is a lot. I mean, it's pretty too. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Or you can go the green way, right? So a greener way would basically to have your own battery or your own charging system directly connected to your house. And believe it or not, it's not that expensive to do that in the whole grand scheme of things, because an electric car is $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. So the charging and installation for the setup is about $1,000 before the actual installation. So you'll probably get away with another $2,500 to add it to your house. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons, because now you have the ability to charge your house. It's not eating at your power bill. So sorry, MLGW, you don't get to stick us again. However, Edmund says that it's a good alternative. So if you want to go electric, it definitely beats gas. And at current gas prices, it's a win-win.
Well, it sounds like I need to make some more money. So let's get off of here, and we'll see you next time on State of the Bands on Monday. It's the daily, so make sure you check that out. Research, fundamental experience, technical analysis, statistical probability. It's what sets us apart, and it's what will get you to stop watching and start living. Every day we track over 8,700 stocks to give you a list for over 131 disciplines and suggested entry and exit prices for each, not to mention how much we expect it to move on a daily basis. Stop watching and start living. Get started today at arbitragetrade.com.
Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is a privately held market research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the content of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to be investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, please visit arbitragetrade.com.